Hello yogis, YOGIWHALE here. Today I've got a 40-minute fusion flow where I've put together some movements from yoga and Pilates to give our back some much needed care. It doesn't involve any weight on the wrists, so you can give them a nice break. We're going to start the practice standing up, so if you've already sat down, I'm sorry, you'll have to stand up. There is a Spotify playlist if you want some music while we move, or you can just withdraw and relax. At the end, if you remember, do like it, leave me a comment, subscribe and share it because it always motivates me to give you more. And if you're ready, stand up and we'll get going. Yogis, you've made it to the mat. Well done. Sometimes I find that the hardest part of a practice, but you've done it. You've dedicated this time to yourself. So however you spend the rest of the practice, whether you're practicing around your work schedule or your day-to-day activities, we're going to make sure our body feels nice and stretched out and that we give some really nice nourishment to our back. So we're going to start in a standing position, but not just standing, collapsing in our body. Don't care what kind of day that you've had. We're going to make sure that we're standing tall, confident, strong, and our body is in a good posture. So I'll stand to the side just to do a postural check. So as we work up the body, lock your body in these positions and just observe your posture awareness. So starting with the feet, take a look down. I've just noticed one of my socks is inside out, never mind. So just make sure that your feet are about hips width and that you've got a little bend in the knees. So you don't have to flop down, you don't have to lock them out, but just make sure that you're not holding any tension there. And then up to the hips. So I'll just lift my vest so you can see it. Sometimes we give ourselves an anterior or a posterior tilt with our hips. So just to find that kind of mid-range, just move your hips back and forth until you've kind of pushed them out and pulled them forward, and then find the mid-range where you can imagine that your hips are level. So sometimes it's not always like that in our day-to-day. I know I sometimes walk around, especially on the beach, pushing my bum out, but when I realize, I try to bring it in. So we're just going to do that today and make sure our hips are nice and level. Up to our shoulders now. So again, just make sure they're not too far forward in front of our chin, in front of our neck. Just to get there, lift them up, push them back, and then you can feel them almost like slot into place. And then arms just out to the side, just palms facing forward. And then your gaze, your chin, just eye level so that you can feel strong. Connect your feet to the ground and feel how strong that you feel in this posture. Of course, we don't walk around like this all the time, but that's why we're just spending a few minutes to feel our body in this upright, strong, tall position, connecting our feet down to our mat, down to the earth. So just spending a few minutes observing and checking your posture, how it feels, first of all, where there might be tension, what we might need to work on in the class before we start movement. And you can close down your eyes if it feels comfortable or safe to do so, just as we take some nice deep breaths. So now that we are standing tall, we've kind of made sure that our lungs are at their full capacity to take in this nice deep breath. So just take a deep breath through your nose and just let it go. And every time that you're exhaling, imagine that you're just getting rid of any tension that you might be holding after your day or whatever time of the day that you're practicing. It's always good just to let go of it and just to observe it. So just take these deep breaths through your nose. And you can exhale through your mouth or through your nose. Try to elongate the exhales, make them a little bit longer than your inhales. Set an intention for your practice, where whatever time of day that you are practicing, if you're ready to wind down and stretch your back after work, or you're just starting your day and you want to make sure that your back is healthy and supported, set an intention, whether it be in your body, how you want your day to go. Now's the time. This is your time. This is your practice. So a few more deep breaths. And just make your last one. So almost push your feet into the ground. So as much as the earth is supporting you, almost firm your feet and feel that kind of Newton's or Isaac's reaction equals physical. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but just feel that kind of equal balance between your feet and the ground. I'm going to have to Google what I was trying to say later. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. I had it there somewhere from school physics anyway. That's nice. So we'll start with some movement now. So take some sun breaths. Reach with your arms. And when you exhale, just let your hands do a little cross, and then reach. So we'll aim for 10, but it depends on your speed. If you want to go faster or slower, you choose. One thing about when I practice on my own or if I'm guiding a class, I have no idea how to count. So I say 10. I have no idea how many I've done. I think I've got 4 more. But it doesn't matter. However many that you're doing, it really doesn't matter. Just as long as you're reaching and moving your body, syncing your breath. I'll take a last one, bonus one. I'll watch this back and it'll be like 15. Didn't mean to do that many breaths anyway. So come back into that strong posture, yogis. And we're just going to bring some stretches up to our neck. So just turn to one side, doesn't matter which. And then take your head over the other side. And then just knock it from side to side. And then back to center. Drop your chin to your chest and feel yourself lengthen in the back of your neck, the cervical, the top part of the spine. Sometimes we spend a lot of our day like this on our devices, phones, laptops, but we're supporting it now with a stretch. Let's give it a counter stretch by looking up. And don't pinch your spine and your shoulders and your neck together at the top. Make sure your head is supported. You don't want to be crunching it and squishing any nerves, because you might get a funny feeling, a little twinge. And then exhale, come down and up. And take one more down and one more up. Head back to center. Drop in chin to chest. We're just going to take some half rolls. So just roll your ear to your shoulder, no further than that. Because again, it's not really the way our neck is designed to move. It'll look like a bit of a horror film if you start twisting your neck all the way around. So we're just going to do for some semicircles. And then back up to center. Now take the head back up, the gaze up, and do some semicircles on the other way. But these will be much smaller. The range here is a little bit limited. Again, we don't want to injure ourselves, so just some small semicircles. That's good. And then bring it into center. Now we're going to make some movement in our shoulders. So sweep your elbow and then your hand, let it pass by, kind of like a disco move, and then sweep your arm forward and let your body kind of follow it. So it's not a huge movement with your body, but allow your body to follow wherever the hand's going, but make sure the movement's coming from your shoulder and then sweeping it forward. Nice. Take one more on this side and then take it to the other side. So Sweep your elbow and hand past your face, guide your body with your hand, and follow it and flow. So again, make sure that bend in the knees there, little micro bend, you don't want to be locked out here, so that you can get that fluid movement with your body. We'll take one more and then bring it back to center. So now we're going to do a similar kind of movement from where our shoulders, where the rotation comes, but we're going to alternate our arms. So you're going to lift one arm at a time, and it doesn't matter if your range is not quite there. That's why we do this, to improve range, mobility. So stand tall and just isolate the movement to your arms and shoulders. It's like a little march on the spot. Turn to the side just so you can see the body is strong and upright, and this movement's just from the shoulders. Take a few more on each side. Beautiful. Back to center. So now with our arms, well, we'll take them one arm up and one arm down. And we're going to take some kind of side lunges. So you're going to reach. So like the alternate arms are moving, but we're using the arms just to get a little bit more of a reach in the side bend. So make sure that we're moving from side to side, so continue with those movements. So make sure you're not caving in from the side or going and pinching your back together. It's really just from side to side. So it doesn't matter on your range how far you get to, as long as you're reaching within a comfortable stretch, and that's great. Your spine's getting that movement in. And just take one more. And then back to center. So now take your arms out to the side. So you feel your shoulder blades here are pinched together. Reach your arms around. Imagine you're hugging a huge exercise ball. Lift up and get tall. Let your arms come down by your side and do that again. So cycle through this, pinching your shoulder blades, hugging the ball, reaching tall, arms by your side. Squeeze, reach, and grow to the side. We'll take a few more of these. You see the shoulder blades together, reaching out, growing tall, arms to your side. This is a nice one if you've been sitting down for most of the day. Or maybe you have quite an active life or job where you perhaps lifting, moving around. This is a good one just to get your back open and closed in a healthy way. So that was our last one, arms down to the side. So we're going to take a spinal twist. So you might want to hold on to something, or you challenge your balance. That's always there. I'm just going to have one hand on the wall. Might end up ripping this down, but never mind. So lift your knee up, and then just using anything you're holding on to or a little bit of tension in your knee, and just come round to a twist. And try balance. And swap over the other side. And just use the knee to come into the twist. Good. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this next one. So allowing the micro bend in the knees, just start to bend forward with a flat back. And then once you're about parallel with the mat and the floor, just start to push off your knees into like a cat position and then lift up and around. So move through this, make it a nice flowy movement. Bending down, lifting up, down, and arch the back. I like to exhale as I come down, and inhale, and reach. Exhale, bend down, take our last one, and then reach up. Ooh, nice, that feels good. So now take the legs a little bit wider than your hips, and then just come back into that seat position. And we're going to dip one shoulder in at a time. So this should be a really nice one to get a little twist. Oh, my whole body's clicking there. And then just dip one shoulder down at a time. God, this feels great. Oh, I might just do like this for the rest of the practice. Don't think I realised how much I needed this. So yeah, if you're enjoying it, just hit pause and carry on with this. You feel your trapezius kind of getting squeezed and pulled there. It feels good for me. Hope it does for you. And then just lift up. So back to holding that seat. Have your fingers on the inside of your thighs. I just feel it's a little bit better for the support, for the movement that we're going to do. We're going to open and close our shoulder blades, our scapula, kind of protracting our shoulders. So just holding this position, basically your arms and shoulders aren't going to move, but the rest of your back is. So you're going to push and then collapse into it. So that's where you feel your scapula squeeze, and then open it. Again, this feels really good. I'm not sure if the microphone pops up. I mean, catches all of the pops that my body's doing, all the cracks and snaps. I think they're healthy. Feels it. A few more of these. Really push off of your, and you can hold one side if it feels good, if you feel like you need a little bit more time in that. And then holding the other one. Wherever you are, just take your last one. Ooh. I did have more planned for the practice, but I feel like that was good enough. I'm done now. Anyway, I'll carry on. So, with the legs still a little bit further out, wider than your hips, I'm just going to take some side lunges here. So, you don't need to fling your body from the side to side. Make it controlled. So, make sure there's a reach in there. Just as we were aware of our stance and our posture at the beginning of the practice, be aware of how your body is held up in these positions. So again, we're not just flinging our body in, we're making sure that everything's working together. This fantastic body of ours, allowing us to move like this. So a few more from side to side. And then back to center. So that was nice. So from here, we're going to take some lunge reaches. So the wider your lunge, the harder it's going to be. So you can decide how you want to do with that. So I'm just going to take like a medium stance and just start to reach your arms up And then exhale, reach forward. Reach your arms up. And then exhale, reach forward, arms back. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. You've got these aeroplane arms. Feel your back is flat here. Just hold it there for a moment. And then inhale, back up to a high lunge. Now we're just going to take a little lift from our heel. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. 3 more of these. And then let our body come back to neutral. So now we're just going to take the foot a little bit closer to your front leg and then just lunge through some nice hamstring stretches here. Make sure the weight is in your bent standing leg, not too much weight in the leg that we're stretching. Couple more for this side and then we'll swap over and do the other side. That's good. Just shake your legs out. It's a little bit of leg work that we've been doing. Stretching the backs of our legs to make sure that there's no tightness or tension held in the muscles that connect from our back, the psoas, which kind of slots in at the spine and then connects to the top of the femur here. So if our legs are tight here, it kind of, other muscles have to compensate. So back pain can sometimes stem from tight hamstrings. That's why making sure that we're getting a nice stretch in them as well. So just swap your legs and we'll start with our reaches. So inhale up, exhale into airplane arms, inhale up, airplane arms, sink your breath. Inhale as you rise and exhale as you come down. Take your last one. Good, yogis. And then lift up. So now that the lift is going to come from the heels. So lift up and down, up, down. Last one. So step the feet a little bit closer together if needed. Make sure that weight is on your back leg, on your standing leg, and then come into your leg stretch. You can do whatever you want with your arm. This just seems to happen. I think I was just taught it from the start or started stretching, but it just feels right. And your arm's getting a little bit of movement as well. Why not? Like you've taken off a hat or something. A few more on this side. Or like we're bowing to royalty. You are royalty. I'm bowing to you. And last one. And in there. So again, just shake out the legs. Been holding some weight on each one there. Do whatever you need to do. Just to let them relax a little bit. So from here, we're going to come down to the mat. But just start to bend first from your hips. Keep that micro bend in the knee. Don't lock them out. And just start to feel really heavy here. You can grab your elbows in a ragdoll, or I always like to, if it feels safe and comfortable in your neck, just allow the hands to clasp at the back and use a little bit of gravity and weight just to elongate the spine. But if it doesn't feel good, then just swing in a ragdoll. And then inhale halfway, spend a moment here just to regulate so we don't get up too quick and feel dizzy. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And then hands to heart. So let's get down to the mat. So it's like a little mini sun salutation without going all the way down onto our wrists. Exhale, bow down. Halfway lift. And then step. We'll start with the right foot at the back. Come into a low lunge. So you've got an option here. We're going to take a lunge, low lunge twist. And you can challenge yourself either by lifting the knee here, but that will soon become very difficult, or you can drop the knee. So that's your options for a challenge today. I'm going to keep my knee down on the ground, so feel strong and supported. Make sure your knee is about, well, just above your ankle. You're not going too far forward over your toes. And bring your hands together at your heart, and then take a twist. Just reaching your elbow to your knee. And if it feels like, if it doesn't quite feel right, then just come out of it and then try it again. You don't need to hook everything round. If it just feels good enough to twist your body a little bit and just rest the elbow on the knee, then that's fine. You're still getting all the benefits. You're still giving your spine that rotation. And then just come out of it. Plant your hands down. And then just cycle through some cat-cow lunges. So arch your back into a cat. And then lunge forward to cow. Lift your gaze. My body is like fireworks. It's popping all over the place. I'll watch it back and you won't be able to hear them, but I promise it is noisy in here. Take your last one. And then come up gently to a high lunge, lifting through. Step that foot forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway. Exhale and fold again. Inhale, reach arms up into Anjali Mudra, prayer position at your heart. So now we'll go with the other leg. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a halfway. And then plant the hands and you'll be stepping the other foot. For me, it's the left foot now. So if you followed me, then just take your left foot back. And then decide if you want to challenge yourself on this side, whether you want to lift your knee there, but that's going to be really tough. So I'm just going to stay here. You give it whatever energy that you've got today. But just bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra and then come into your twist. So see how it feels on this side. If you feel like you need to come out of it and latch on again, then do so. Take some deep breaths here into the part of the body that we've opened up. Last breath. And then twist back round, plant the hands and take some cat-cow lunges on this side. Lifting the gaze as you come forward and then just bowing down to your knee. Good yogis. So from here, we're going to come onto our backs and just allow yourself some room behind your head on your mat or your towel, whatever you're practicing on, and just come down. Let your body just sink into the mat, into the ground now. Keep your knees lifted, your feet close to your glutes. And we're going to use some Pilates movements just to strengthen our back a little bit here. And you'll feel it in your core. There's a couple of variations that I'll talk you through. So before we begin any movement, if you just want to watch, I'll show you first. So First option is you are going to lift your heels, so you're on your toes. Your hands, just place them together. You can clasp them together or just place one palm over the other. And this is what your knee is going to aim for. So you're going to lift one knee up, and just when it reaches the hands, just push a little resistance, not much, and then lower it down. Push and lower it down. So you can continue with that and cycle through. The other option is, as you push, you then straighten it out, back in, and swap it over. Push, straighten, in, push. So join in whenever you're ready. Set up your hands. And then if you just want to start with the knees first before you straighten the leg out, give that a go. But make sure there's just that little push from your knee. You'll feel, when you push, you'll feel your girdle of strength, your core and your back engage to find that resistance. So it's a little bit different than just lifting your knees. There's other muscles involved to get that resistance. Keep your pelvis level on the floor, so make sure it's not rocking or lifting from side to side. Make sure your posture here, although we're lying down, is still strong. So we'll take a few more of these, yogis. So we've been kind of mixing a little bit of Pilates in with the yoga today. And we've been working on our back and our shoulders, moving our arms around. I always thought that Pilates was very much like yoga until I went to my first Pilates class, and I thought that was hard. Such subtle movements that are needed that really help with your posture, help strengthen the trunk and all of those muscles that we sometimes neglect. So take it to stillness, finish off your last one, and just take a moment here. So by combining a bit of Pilates and yoga, you can really feel that mind, body, spirit connection and strengthen your whole body, your core and this area, this kind of corset that keeps you strong. Because although we've got a lot of other bones and limbs in our body, 206 bones, it's kind of this area below our chest and above our thighs that is where our center of gravity is holding us, is found. So that's why in sedentary, I can never say that word, jobs where you sit down for a while, it's, if our muscles get tight here, then other muscles have to chip in and compensate, and that's where the pain sometimes comes from. So we make sure that we've given them all a nice stretch. So we're slowing down the practice now with a little spinal twist. So you can cross one leg over and then just knock them over to the side. So I've crossed my right leg over my left and then taken those knees over to the right and then just gaze over to the left. Your knees don't need to come all the way down to the ground. It might on one side, it might on the other. For me, this is often the side that doesn't quite get there. Might be the same for you or different. We're all different, so don't worry about it. Deep breaths here, yogis. Although we're slowing the practice down, it's just as important to breathe with good quality breaths as it is now than it was at the start. And lift those knees back to center. Uncross them. Take the crossover. So this will now be my left leg over my right. And then I'll take the knees over to the left and gaze to my right. More pops and cracks up and down my body, if you can hear them. Feel like good pops. If there's any snaps, that's always a bit concerning, but pops are fine. We like pops. Last breath here in your twist. And then inhale. Back through center. Uncross the legs. Take your right, this is a knee, take your right knee into your armpit. Extend the left leg out long. And just feel that up your glutes. And then switch it over. Left knee now into your left armpit. And then just keep that knee there. Bring your right knee, curl into a little ball. Just rock a little bit from side to side. And we're just going to take one last movement, which I quite enjoy. It's quite fun. So we're going to do a little roll back. So just come back up to your seat. So again, I can demonstrate it first before you throw yourself into it. So one option is to keep your arms at the side for some support, so you can kind of grip the mat there, and then you're just going to roll back and up. Other option is to kind of catch yourself mid-air. If your neck feels a bit stiff, then this might not be good for you, so you can skip it out and just go back into those rolls. Please make sure there's nothing behind you, no ornaments, no pets or children, otherwise they're going to get a drop kick to the face. So just make sure that there's plenty of space behind you, and then just give it a go. Just allow gravity to let you roll back and then up. So the test for me is trying to catch myself mid-air. Let's take a few more. There's like another little massage on your back. Oh, I'm nearly off the mat. I'm going to roll off screen in a minute. There we go. And then just come back. That was fun. So now, coming into your back even, and you've got a yogi's choice, so you can come back into that ball and just rock from side to side, or if you've been there the whole time, then just enjoy a few more moments here. You can take a happy baby, so grabbing your toes or the outsides of your feet and just rocking from side to side here, stretching one leg at a time. Just take a moment for a yogi's choice. Do whatever you feel that you need to close your practice. And then when you're ready, slowly join me in your Shavasana, corpse pose. But be aware of your posture now on the mat. So starting from the feet, allow them just to kind of open naturally, a little bit wider than the hips. Coming up to your glutes, you can kind of pull your cheeks out just so now you've got a nice cushion on the mat. You'll feel under your back that natural curve of the spine. You might be able to fit a finger in there or your whole hand. And then up to your shoulder blades. So from here, again, just tuck them together like we did at the start of the practice, kind of allowing your shoulder blades to be open here. And now you feel that your chest is lifted, arms out, palms to the side. Gaze directly above you and close down your eyes. Allow this final resting position to also be a nourishing posture for your body. Join me in a big inhale and then sighing out. 2 more like this. Inhale and sigh. Last one. Inhale and sigh. Nice, yogis. So enjoy this Shavasana for a few minutes more. Now is your time to hit pause and just enjoy this time. And if you want a bit longer, then stay there. But if you're ready, bring yourself back to your body with a bit of movement in your toes and fingertips, neck, from side to side. Nice. And then slowly, just turn into one side of your body, whichever feels natural, whichever side is calling to you today. And pause there for a moment. Taking a moment here to be grateful for your health, for being grateful to be able to move your body and your back like this, to give it these nice stretches. Be grateful for your safety and your freedom. And then find something else, something that only you are grateful for, something that is unique to you. Feel it all around your body and say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then slowly, yogis, just coming up to a seated position. No rush to get there. Once you're there, either sitting cross-legged or whatever feels the most comfortable for you at the end of your practice. Bringing your hands together at heart center. Going forward from here with kind and loving thoughts. Bring your hands to your mouth to go forward from here with kind and loving words. And then bring your hands to your heart to go forward from here with kind and loving actions. Gently blink the eyes open. Look at me and give me a big smile. Thanks very much for practicing with me today, yogis. I'll see you very soon. See you.